I want this, I got to go get it. Nobody's going to walk and give it to me. I can pray all day for it, and God's not going to come out and just say, hey, here you go. Send an angel and say, hey, no, it's something I have to be willing to do. And that's a misconception. One of the misconceptions that this alleviates completely is that we can rely and lean on God to just make us great. He'll make us great. All we got to do is trust him and believe and pray and give it to God, and God will make us great. Ooh, be careful what you ask for. You look at every single narrative when it comes down to the scripture, there's not one. Help your man's out. But there's not one great individual, great character all throughout scripture, all throughout time that has escaped purification, that has escaped development, that has escaped destruction for reconstruction. Not one, not one. Greatness comes with a price. Breakthrough comes with a price.
The devil can't stop me. He been trying to pop me, throwing dirt on my name, trying to swap me. But don't know what he do, work, God got me. Enemy sneak through the fam and the friends, through the job, through the pews, through the amens. Yeah, cut kinda deep, yeah, still leave a mark, but I rise from the dirt. He was there from the start. He wanna take my soul, but it ain't for sale. Tryna lock me in a cycle, tryna make me fail. He wanna be the God of the fear I feel, but I know who's on the throne, I know who is real. God got me, God got me.
Hey, I've been saying it for a very long time, and we're going to jump into it. Today, we're going to talk about the 150 challenge, the 150 challenge. Yep, the 150 challenge. I've been talking about it for a minute, and I just want to get into it. What is the 150 challenge? So this is it, plain and simple. You take 150 days, and you focus yourself on 3 different pillars in your life where you want to see breakthrough, where you want to see change, and there's a systematic approach to how, in fact, you are going to get to your destination in these 3 pillars in your life. So for myself, I chose my health, I chose my finances, and I chose my discipline. Those are 3 things that I chose. And the reason why I chose them is because I've been struggling for years. So if you have ever been stuck, I've been stuck so many times in my life. I don't even like to talk about it, to be honest. I don't like the conversation because the conversation is just, it feels monotonous. It feels heavy. But the reality is a lot of us are stuck in a lot of ways. And here's the truth. We believe that we can't get out. It's not something that we articulate because it's not something I've said like, man, I can't get out of this. I can't get out of this. It's something that I think. It's something that's inside of my head. And what's in your head eventually comes out in your actions. And so it's come out of my actions. What do? I'm like strapped financially. I'm strapped when it comes down to my health. I've been getting issues. And I'm talking like I'm going to sleep and I'm waking up 2-3 times at night because I can't breathe. I can't lay on my back and go to sleep because I have sleep apnea symptoms. And every now and then I'll be sitting working and my heart will start to just palpitate out of nowhere. Or I get exhausted just I'm just like, man, I'm tired. Out of nowhere, midday, I'm supposed to be up. I supposedly got enough sleep, and why am I still tired? Also, certain things that I said that I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I got a whole list of stuff that I've created over the years, and I have never been able to actually finish. I'm talking run through the tape, finish. And man, the list goes on and on and on. But the bottom line is the stuck piece has been something that I've put myself into. I've put myself into this box. I put myself into a prison because of not creating, number one, a system. Most of us fail because we don't create a system. We're not accountable to a system. We make we make ourselves accountable to what we have known, the history, the narrative that has played itself over and over and over again. We make ourselves accountable to that. It's like light work. It's every single morning we wake up and do the same things over and over again. It's crazy how, we know that basic definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting to get a different result. But how many of us are living that every single day of our lives? A lot of us are, and it's hard to articulate or talk about it because the reality is, and I'm speaking this because I know that there's people out there that struggle like this. I see them and talk to them every single day. I talk to people that struggle with being stuck in certain areas. Like they want to grow, they want to get better, they want to improve. It's almost like something in the atmosphere is keeping them stuck in the place that they're in. There's no way out. It's like there's no way out. And again, we don't articulate this stuff, but that's how we live. It's subconsciously rooted inside of our head somewhere. Throughout all of the different years, I know that I've grown up. And I look at the results in my life, and guess what they remind me of? They remind me of the results that not like exactly, but a lot of them like almost mirror a lot of what I saw coming up, which leads to the thought process of how much of our upbringing affects negatively the things in our lives every single day, whether it's our finances, our relationships, our health. It doesn't matter what it is. How many of us are stuck because of us not, number one, recognizing that the things that we've grown up around put us in the state of mind that we're in today. And if we don't decide that something's going to change, and nothing is ever going to change. Man, I have prayed for stuff. I'm talking like, Lord, please help me with this in my life. Help me with my health. Help me in my finances. Help me in all of these different areas in my life. And God has answered my prayers. And guess how he answered my prayers? By saying, son, you know what to do. He that knoweth to do right and doeth it not, to him it is sin. And we ain't gonna go that deep with the sin part, but the reality is you get the results. I have gotten the results of the work or the lack thereof that I put in. And that's all of us. Now, has God, is that an indictment on God? No, it has nothing to do with God. God gives us the answers. God has placed so many things in front of me. He's given me so many different opportunities, daily, yearly, monthly. God has given me so many opportunities. And guess who squandered them? Me. I have. There's no excuse. None at all. Man. I'm 5'8.5", about 5'9". And I was weighing about 252 pounds. Now, I've been on this 150 challenge for 37 days now. 37 days. And I'm going to get into the stipulations, but I'm for 37 days. And I can tell you with the system that I put together, I've already achieved results. I've already lost about 13 or 14 pounds in 37 days. I feel better. I've been able to see certain things move in my finances. My thought process on finances has changed, and it's continuing to change. It's upgrading. And on top of that, my discipline structure, my daily routine has strengthened. There's several books that I'm associating with every single pillar. And these books are assigned to be read over a certain period of time. If I read, so for the first 50 days, I have to read one book for each particular pillar. So a financial book, I got to read. A discipline book, I got to read. And then the other piece, so discipline, finance, and then a health book I have to read. So there's 3 books that I read. One is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. All right. Now, that is the one associated with the discipline aspect of my life, because most of us don't understand that in order for us to really get results in life, there's no shortcut to get there. We have to be disciplined. Discipline has to be something that we incorporate in our lives if we're going to see something happen. And most of us, the reason why we don't adopt discipline is because we believe that discipline is going to be that thing that automatically comes into our life and change things overnight. Where stuff's going to be like, oh, I've been at this for a day, or I've been at this for a week, or I've been at this for a month, and we can continue to go on, but I'm going to stop there at a month, and everything is supposed to be all good. Well, this book challenges that thought process. The Compound Effect. It talks about how small tasks, I'm about maybe 80% done that book right now. And I can tell you it's challenged the foundation of my thinking. The foundation of my thinking has been like, if I don't get it in the time that I feel that I need to get it, then I'm going to get frustrated. And I'm going to say, forget it. It's not worth it. And that book challenges that thought process. It actually brings things into a reality where we understand that, it's going to take time. You got yourself into this equation over time. It took a minute for you to for you to get where you are right now, for you to get the results that you're getting right now. So why do you think it's going to change overnight? It's not a reality. So then the financial book that I'm reading, and this is challenging, y'all. When I say it's challenging, man, the presuppositions and all of the different thoughts that has basically ruined my finances over the years has really put me in a space where, as I'm reading this book, it's more than challenging. It's really uprooting a lot of things. The book that I'm reading is The Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. That is the book that I'm reading, and it's challenging because he has a lot of what would be considered controversial views when it comes down to debt. One of the things that is actually helping, to be honest, is like a lot of times my thought is connected to my feeling. My feeling wins versus common sense. And I buy what I feel. I buy based off of my feelings. And that's a horrible way to do things. Like the discipline has to be there, but also the structure and the strategy has to be there. And so the structure is talking about how we have to be like really specific, like taking money out of the bank and putting it in an envelope is one of the strategies. And assigning the money, aiming the money specifically where it needs to go. That's a hard thing to do, man. When you got your ATM card and it's like, I mean, look, I'm good. You know, I need to. It's easy. It's convenience. Pumping my gas, just beep. Going to the store and if I want something, I can just go and I can buy it, or online when I'm shopping. Beep. It's easy. But when you have to allocate your money before you actually get it, and even when you get it, you got to go through that monotonous process of getting out of the convenience that we're used to. That's hard. But it talks about how we need to learn how to discipline ourselves, say no to ourselves. That's one of the biggest things is difficult for us. It's one of the biggest things we deal with. Saying no to ourselves. How do we say no to ourselves when everything around us is so convenient? It's right there in front of us. Come on, who wants to wait? And if I want that pair of sneaks, man, I love me some Kyrie's. The answers, they be on fire. I got about maybe 5 or 6 pair of them. And I need, at least 3 or 4 more to match with my business shirts. I got these shirts that I'm in the color pattern matches the sneakers, and I love it. I love some Kyrie's. They're going for like maybe 120, 150 a pop. Some of them like $200. It's nothing wrong with me wanting them, but at the end of the day, if I'm struggling in certain areas of my finances, why am I buying Kyrie's? And that goes for anything. It doesn't matter. It's not just shoes. It's all the other stuff. I mean, I'm noticing all of the subscriptions I got. You use this tool now called Every Dollar, which basically means you track every single dollar that you make. Every dollar. You track it. You track your spending, everything. That's hard. But the more I read this book and the more I read the stories are inspirational because you're reading stories of people who have been in worse situations than I've been in. And they share how they worked their way out of it and the mindset that it took. There's certain people that went bankrupt and broke many times over and over again, and they've been able to recover from them. And a lot of them have recovered using this Dave Ramsey strategy. And I'm not saying that this is the only strategy out there. For people that are struggling in finances, I think this is a really good baseline, really good foundational book to actually get yourself on track to being better in your finances. And then last but not least, the other book that I'm reading is by my man Sean Stevenson, and it is Eat Smarter. And this book is challenging, but it's good at the same time. I love being educated on how to eat in a way that produces the results. Most of us, we want to work out. That's good. We want to eat right. That's good. But we never sustain that and never move in a direction where we can have a healthy lifestyle change because we don't understand that eating controls a lot of that narrative. We think the workout is the biggest piece, and it's not. Working out is phenomenal. We need it. It's necessary, but it's not the biggest. It's not the biggest thought. If you eating the wrong stuff, for instance, then the wrong things that you're ingesting can literally influence your mental, influence your feelings to not want to work out, to not do those things. So, Eat Smarter is a book that really breaks down okay, what to eat and why to eat it. What are the results of the things that you put in your body? It talks about all of the specific things and talks about macronutrients, micronutrients. It talks about all of the different, nutrients that you need to be putting in your body and when you need to be putting them in. It talks about fasting and what is the benefits of fasting. And I've experienced this stuff. I mean, of course, I lost 14 pounds and that's great. But for my goal, there's a certain goal that I wrote down I have after 37. Okay, so when I get into the next 50 days, it's going to be even more. I'm going to be even more strict, and I'm going to share with you all the specifics to the system itself, because there's a lot of homework that you got to do before you actually start the challenge. But long story short, that book is challenging, but it's really good and it's encouraging too, because when you're learning about the stuff that you put in your body, what effect it has on your body, and you start to practice it and you start to feel and see the results, it gets encouraging. It's almost like a snowball effect. It's like, man, that feels good. Okay, I'm moving. So those are the 3 books that I'm reading in reference to those 3 pillars. And then there's some other things that's associated with the discipline aspect of my life. I have forms that I basically generated that I have to fill out every single day. These forms are connected to a sheet and it's a real simple setup. Anybody can do it. Doesn't cost any money to do it. And it's phenomenal. But the sheet is then shared with an accountability partner. So there's an accountability partner for every single pillar that I'm dealing with. And there are follow-ups that I have to have with these accountability partners, sometimes weekly, sometimes monthly. It all depends on what's going on with the schedule and the whole 9. But they have access to this sheet where they can see my results that I'm supposed to be putting into the sheet every single day, of which I've been doing. There is a little tiny bit of wiggle room or lenience in the first 50 days. The first 50 days gives you the opportunity to actually stretch a little bit, trying to get used to the schedule, because there's a huge schedule change. When you've been living in chaos for a long time, when you've been living in disorganization, when you've been a little all over the place, other people may see you and not see those things. They may see some of the symptoms or remnants of those things, but they don't really know what's going on back in. You know more than anybody else. But when you've been living in that state for such a long time, the truth is it's hard, y'all, to get out. I'm holding no punches with that. It's hard because you've programmed yourself, in a sense. You've programmed yourself to be a certain way. And when we're adults, it's hard to get out of that. I can't tell you brother after brother after brother I've talked to, not just brothers, but sisters as well, but definitely brothers because of the ministries that I'm connected to, that talk about how difficult it is to get rid of stinking thinking, to get rid of those things that we've just locked in as this is it. This is it. And we are going to dive deep into, as we go along in this podcast or in this journey, especially this 150 challenge, we're going to go into the science behind stuff. We're going to go into a whole lot of, spiritual foundational type stuff in this process, because it's really important. There's so many dynamics to us being, and I'm not just talking about success, because at the end of the day, anybody can be successful. Like if you train hard enough to, let's say, for instance, run a marathon. Oh, let's just say run a 5K. Then you can run a 5K. I've ran a 5K before. I actually did a 100-mile bike race. I started at mile, I think 40. So it was only like 60 miles that I did. But I did that before. And I remember the feeling, the wobbly feeling of your legs when you get done and you get the rip. I got the little, medallion thing and or the ribbon or the medal. And it felt good. It felt good doing that and accomplishing that. But not too long after that, I went right back into my old programming. Why did I go back into my programming? Because I didn't have, number one, a system in place that helped me to be transparent with who I have been, who I am, in a sense. Like, we all want to be the best versions of ourselves we talk about. We all want to be great in different areas in our lives. And if we're talking about making the spiritual foundation the most important foundation, prioritizing it, I'm with that. But how much of that do we really do? One of the fruits of the spirit is self-control. How many of us value self-control? It's almost like having 10 different superpowers and using 8 of them or using 7 of them and feeling really good about them. But the other 3 may be the ones that we need to be focusing on just a little bit more. And that's the challenge for me has been that. I've been focusing so much on certain things in my life that are inspirational, that are encouraging, that are motivational, and all of these different things that I've lost sight of the basic things that have been in front of my face every single day. The reality is, even if you have 10 things and you're only focusing on 5, for instance, okay, you're not focusing on the other five in a way where you can really get the best out of yourself and out of your life until you become complete and start working on the other five. They work in tandem. Like when you have better health, you have a better focus. When you don't have to worry about certain health complications, there's certain, nuances of just creativity and flexibility and a lack of being fatigued and frustrated as a result. All those things become a byproduct of good health. The list goes on and on and on. But at the end of the day, how many of us focus on the self-control aspect of who we are when it comes down to our health? I know some people that have preached the windows out of building. I know some people that are teaching and inspire the windows, the doors off a building, but they have zero self-control and they're overweight as a result. And for me, I know what it feels like when you're so impulsive that you're looking for instant gratification after you've exhausted yourself in a certain area. And a lot of that is self-sabotage in disguise, because the idea behind us enjoying something after we have exerted a certain level of what we consider giving, ministry, serving, whatever it is. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have a thought of wanting to enjoy ourselves, but as a result of those things, and this is just my humble opinion from my experience as well, that has made me the least efficient from the standpoint of me being able to sustain the lifestyle, sustain the healthy habits. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I get all excited because I got some service going on, or I'm doing something great and I've been able to accomplish and achieve something phenomenal. And it's like the celebration is great and I'm on celebration mode, but celebration lasts too long. Celebration becomes more of the routine than what got me there to the point where I was celebrating over something from the beginning. Same thing with finances. It's like, in order to really produce a certain level of success, not just success, but let's say sustainability, as far as being able to be free in a sense and be tight and on point with your finances, a certain level of celebration got to be killed and destroyed. I'm just going to say it the way I feel it. It does. Why are we celebrating that we paid our bills on time? Why are we celebrating that we have a retirement fund now? Why are we celebrating to the point, one or two debts when we got all these other debts that we got to take care of? Okay, what is the thought of celebration being something that is literally not always associated with the things that we should be doing anyway? So, man, it's a difficult talk or conversation, but it's a real conversation. We got to stop being so addicted to celebrating wins that are not common. We have to make wins common to the point where we're used to them. Yep. We got to kill the finish line mentality. And that's hard when you've been doing something for so long. So the 150 challenge is about challenging the tradition, challenging the presuppositions, challenging all those spaces in us that have not been honest. Talking about I'm gonna lose weight for all this time. I'm gonna lose weight and I'm gonna get in the best shape of my life. And I'm on this little diet thing and I'm feeling good about myself. And then I go right back into the same stuff. Same weight I took off, I double it now. Put it back on. Finances, same thing. I get all excited when I get a bunch of money and it's like, oh my gosh, what do I do? The very first thing I want to do is I want to enjoy myself. Let's go enjoy myself. That's a poverty mindset. I've read enough books and I listened to enough financial gurus and I've had enough experience in failure and success in finances to know that that's a poverty mindset, poverty-stricken mindset. Like, when do we now value the things that accumulate over an extended period of time? That's called legacy. That's called lifestyle. That's called true empowerment and impact, not just on ourselves, but the people around us. But how many of us make excuses, y'all? I can't even tell you how many excuses I've made. Like, and I'm going to show this because a part of the 150 challenge is there's a vlog that's connected to it. So I've videotaped this whole thing. Every single day, there's a video connected to it. The very first video, I literally got on a call with my accountability partner for health because this brother is fit. He's crazy in shape. Former D2 basketball player. Like we hoop together sometimes. We go out and we exercise together in the whole nine. So he's on point. But I basically I bore it all. I took my shirt off. I showed my pot belly sticking out. It was, and this is the first time I've ever done this. I'm always sucking my belly in because I don't want my belly to be seen in my shirts. And I don't want people to see how overweight I am. And sometimes I can't help it because I've eaten so much that it just sticks out. And no, it's like at the end of the day, that's who I am, really. That's who I've been. If I want to change that, I got to change it. It got to be something that let's go. And so I shared this with him. I said, all right, check this out. This is what it is, bro. Because I'm serious. He asked me though. He asked me in a call. I never forget. He asked me, he said, yo, bro. And this is before I showed the video. He said, bro, he said, what is it? Because I tried this before and he was my accountability partner then. And I stopped. And he said, what's the difference between this time and last time? And the very first thing I said is because I knew it, ugly transparency. I had to have ugly transparency. That thing that don't feel good, don't look good. You don't want to talk to nobody about. You don't want to be around. You don't want to expose this aspect of who you are because it makes you feel less than because you know that you are less than who you ought to be. But I shared it. Ugly transparency. And that's what we need if we are going to experience breakthrough. How in the world am I talking about other people being free emotionally, spiritually, economically, instead? And I'm not. I'm in debt. I got bill collectors calling my phone, not even answering the phone sometimes when I see a number where now the phones get smart. And what they do is they say potentially spam. When 80% of the calls that's coming to my phone are that. Because I can't pay my debt. No, it's not that I can't. It's I would not because of my habits. I mean, at the end of the day, it's time to be real. Getting up early in the morning for 1 week. I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Let's go. Yeah. Feeling good about myself. And then the next week I'm sleeping in, struggling to get out the bed. It's terrible. And then I'm getting on my kids because I'm like, yo, handle your business. Do what you're supposed to do. Because, man, dress right, dress. I'm military. Come on. And they struggling. How am I going to get on them when I'm struggling? I'm struggling to get out of bed sometimes. I don't want to get out of bed. And a lot of times it's because of what's between these ears and my spirit. It's like, yo, what is, and this is crazy, but I'm going to say it. What is the carrot that's dangling in front of you today? What's the carrot? We all got a carrot. What's the carrot? For me, the carrot was like, yo, I have to feel like there's some type of reward or celebration that I'm looking forward to. And I'm going to be straight, y'all. If, in fact, that's the lifestyle and the mindset that you want to be in, you can turn this off right now and I wouldn't be upset at all. And you can never listen to this again. This is specifically, don't even try to look at the 150 challenge because the 150 challenge is specifically the reverse of this mindset that I'm talking about right now. That mindset that says that has a certain percentage of values that can, that you can hold up and say, yeah, this is good. This is on point. While ignoring the majority of the values that you lack and you struggle in. But we hold the small percentage of like, this is going to not just sustain us, but this makes us feel justified that we good to go. Look, I try to be real sensitive with people who I talk to when it comes down to this one thing, because you got people talking body shame and all this, that, and the other now. And I get it. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but at the end of the day, I had to be real myself. I look myself in the mirror and say, yo, bro, you fat. I love you. I mean, there's no love lost, but you fat. You out of shape. You overweight. And you daggone near diabetic. If we really being honest. And when you look at the reason why, it's because you have no self-control. You do not control yourself. That's it. You're in mad debt. You got 2 cars. Now you got one because one car got repossessed. Why? Because you don't know how to handle finances properly, or you have not. Look, when you, I don't care what type of pie it is, when you eat a pie, pick it 4 different types of pies on a table with, I'm talking of like a blind, test where you close your eyes or somebody put something around your mask. It's 3. There's a cherry pie, there's an apple pie, and there's a peach pie. Close your eyes, you can't see them, and somebody feeds you one. As soon as you start biting on it and you start tasting it, the whole 9, it's not going to take too long for you to know which one you just ate. The proof is going to be in what it tastes like. Why do we live a life where we live in denial of what we are living in? What is going on in our lives? Some of us need accountability. Let's be real, because we won't do it on our own, because we've programmed ourselves to be a certain thing, to do a certain thing, and we need help, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Here's the challenge when it comes down to accountability. You got to, number one, get an accountability partner that is going to be consistent, way more consistent than you, that is beyond you in where you are. Don't get somebody on your level. I'm just being real with this. Don't try to get somebody that is on your level of the different areas that you are struggling with. Don't, because you're setting yourself up for failure. Don't get an accountability partner that's not solid and on point and is also vested in you, invested in where you're trying to go. You need somebody that is handling their business in their lives and is willing to hold you accountable, is willing to make you feel uncomfortable and say, yo, you said you was going to do something, you ain't do it. What's up? What's going on? Somebody that's willing to get on your nerves. Somebody that's willing to put that friendship at stake if they have to, because you said you was going to do something. You said you was going to be something, and you're not it. No strings attached. That's who you need. And you got to be willing to do the work. The 150 challenge is a specific system and it's a strategy. It's not complicated, but it's a system and it's a strategy that will hold a person accountable. In 3 pillars, you choose the pillars of your life that you want to deal with. There's several that we have that's listed in the 150 challenge. I'll share those later, but you pick them, and then it shows you how to pick an accountability partner. And there's a simple form, simple sheet that you share with them. You have an initial onboarding conversation where all expectations are lined up and locked in. And then you go on your journey. Now, I must admit, for time's sake, the journey is not just a journey of, you taking 150 days and you just being accountable and responsible. That is a part of it. But the other part of it is, why did you pick the pillars that you picked? And we're going to get specific. We're going to get deep into them. Some of us got to go back into, and I mentioned this earlier, some of us got to go back into our childhood or our upbringing to see where, in fact, we have picked up some bad habits, some bad tendencies, and we now are living in them every single day, and we got to cut them off. There's no negotiation with stuff that keeps us in bondage, and that is something we got to lock in. If you cannot lock that in, this challenge is not for you. So there is a worksheet. There's a worksheet that you got to fill out. There's a one-on-one that you have to have with each accountability partner where you need ugly transparency. So back to the accountability partner, you need somebody that's going to be able to see your ugly and be okay with it. It's not going to look at you like you all crazy and, oh my gosh, you just all over. No, you got to have somebody that's going to say, I get it. I understand it. I've overcome certain things. Somebody that's not so self-righteous that they can't look at your flaws and be able to say, I still want to help you. But yeah, a part of that is real. We got to learn how to hold ourselves accountable. And how many of us want to do that? That's one of the hardest things for people to do. Yes, there's a lot of trust issues that we have in the whole now, but you can't tell me that you can't find one person to be an accountability partner and say, yeah, I'm going to hold you accountable for stuff that you say. You're just not going to tell me that. You have to want to change. We have to want to change. And so the first 37 days have been tough. The first couple weeks, I must admit, I'm gonna say the very 2.5 weeks, I was on fire. Like, let's go. I'm good because I'm excited about this. I want to be able to go through this before I tell or talk to anybody else about going through. So I'm like, yeah, let me go through it. Then life started happening. So that's another big part of the equation. Life happens. We got into these bad habits or these results that we have in our life because of the bad habits, the bad tendencies, the bad decisions, the bad thoughts, all of the things that we do that are just terrible. No transparency whatsoever. And it's hard to get out of those things, especially when there's life is happening around you. So life is going to happen. There's no way around it. Man, I transitioned with my jobs. And I transitioned into a job where it's tech and I'm doing my thing. And that's a whole nother podcast. But man, I mean, very first week, my boss is on some other stuff. And I'm like, yo, what is this? Change of scenery, change of time, all those things just kind of like smacked me out of proportion. Then family issues. And that third week, it was almost like everybody in my household just decided that today, this is going to be the week that we're going to stop me from doing this 150 challenge. I know that wasn't the case, but that's how I felt. It was like, oh my gosh. It's like one thing after another, one kid, then another kid. And I'm looking up like, what in the world is going on? How in the world am I supposed to change? But I had to fight through. And I really believe that God is in the business of purifying his children. And so if I can give this the 150 challenge any type of label that I think would fit well, it's purification. It is. And to purify anything, we know something got to go through the heat. Something got to go through destruction. In order for gold to get into its purest form, it has to be burned. Silver, any precious metal, it has to be burned. All of the impurities got to be scraped off of it, got to be disseminated away from it. In order for a diamond to be a diamond is not a diamond is just a dirty black rock until it has a certain level of heat and pressure over time. And so if I can say anything, the 150 challenge is about purification. And I can tell you that I've been challenged like I've never been challenged before, in a sense where I question, man, is this something that I want to do? Do I want to do this? And I'm still in it right now. And I know that it's planning to go to another level. And I'm excited about that. But I'm also, it's more of a focus than anything else. It's not just I'm excited. Yeah, let's go. No, because I'm trying to, in this process, and I believe that if you take this challenge, you're going to see it as well. It's the mindset that has to shift, that has to change. In order for a mindset to be changed, mindset, where it's set, just think of a tree where it's set in a space where roots go down. It's almost like uprooting a tree. You can take the leaves off. You can take the branches off. You can even cut the tree. You can cut the tree all the way at the bottom, but you still got to deal with the roots. Still got to deal with the roots. How far do the roots go down? And that's what the 150 challenge is. How far does the roots go down? And how in the world do we get them out? We have to take a systematic approach. It's going to take support. It's going to take structure. And it's going to take a willingness to go through whatever you got to go through. So yeah, it's not just excitement, it's focus. It's like, I know what I got to do. If I want this, I got to go get it. Nobody's going to walk and give it to me. I can pray all day for it, and God's not going to come out and just say, hey, here you go. Send an angel and say, hey, no, it's something I have to be willing to do. And that's a misconception. One of the misconceptions that this alleviates completely is that we can rely and lean on God to just make us great. He'll make us great. All we got to do is trust him and believe and pray and give it to God, and God will make us great. Ooh, be careful what you ask for. You look at every single narrative when it comes down to the scripture, there's not one. Name one, help your mans out. But there's not one great individual, great character, all throughout scripture, all throughout time, that has escaped purification, that has escaped development, that has escaped Destruction for reconstruction. Not one. Not one. Mm-mm. Greatness comes with a price. Breakthrough comes with a price. Something has to be given up. And that's just the nature of this entire race. That's it. So I'm excited, but I'm more focused. And I can see already certain results that are happening. 37 days, I'm starting to feel like more used to these habits I'm developing, more used to getting up and working out. If I can't work out in the morning, I work out at night. Eating the right things, saying no to certain things. I'm at work or wherever else I'm going, they're all eating crap. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Even people in my house, they eat certain things I don't eat. So I got to say no. And I got to walk in discipline. I got to say, this is what it is. It's funny because when I went on this 150 challenge, talking to my daughter, my youngest daughter, as I'm working out down in our garage, and I had a box of my favorite vegan cookies, peanut butter cookies. I love them. I was eating them, tearing them up, and I said, Amani, I said, this is the last time you gonna see me with these cookies in a long time. And she looks at me and she said, yeah, right, Dad. Yeah, right. That made me think. Not just think, but that made me hungry. Like, yo, that said a lot to me. It said to me that my actions spoke louder than my words. And so several weeks, a couple weeks have gone by. And during the process, my wife ordered pizza. Friday, everybody's home from school. Everybody's off work, and she orders pizza. And I loved pizza. And but I know I couldn't eat it. And she was eating the pizza in front of me. Once I'm dead, she was teasing me the whole night. It was funny. I said, no, I'm good. And it was hard. That pizza was smelling good. But what's crazy is the more I kept saying no, the easier it got. Now I don't even crave pizza at all. It's no desire whatsoever. Like when I'm eating pizza, I'm good with sitting in a room with them and eating a salad in 37 days. So what the 150 challenge challenges and can change is possible. It's just a matter, do you want it or not? So I'm going to post my results. I'm going to post the books that I'm reading because there's several other books that I'm on assignment with. I'm going to post it all. I'm going to start putting out certain videos. It's going to show some of the things that I've been doing, some of the things that I've been eating over time. And also I have to record at least a minute's worth of how I'm feeling each day. Every day I got to record that. So I'm going to record that. I'm going to share that so everybody can see that, hear that, and definitely want to hear your feedback. But I'm also excited about somebody else jumping into this challenge. So if you're interested, hit me up in my DMs, reach out to me, find a way to reach out to me, and we'll set up some time we can talk where I can show you how to get everything set up, show you how to go through the process, and we will go from there. So that's the 150 challenge. There's a whole lot more that's coming on the 150 challenge. Lot that's coming. But I did want to share that because I've been saying I was going to share that for a while. And so thank you all so much for listening to the 150 podcast. This is episode 17. I've been moving. I've been doing this thing. And regardless of who shows up, I've just been consistent. So I'm thankful for that. I'm also excited about that. And we're going to keep going. I believe this is something God wanted me to do. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. And so we're here right now. So just join us back again. Encouragement, motivation, any of that is welcome. When you see the videos I'm putting out, definitely want to hear your feedback. Want to, sort of build a community around this because a community is definitely something that is always encouraging. So, and that's it. The 150 challenge, we're dead in effect. We're in this thing and excited. So again, thank you so much for joining the 150 podcast. Until next time, you know how I rock out. I rock out this way all the time. Live 150. Praise God. Live 150. Yeah.
But don't know what he do, work God got me. Enemy sneak through the fam and the friends, through the job, through the pews, through the amens. Yeah, cut kinda deep, yeah, still leave a mark, but I rise from the dirt. He was there from the start. He wanna take my soul, but it ain't for sale. Tryna lock me in a cycle, tryna make me fail. He wanna be the God of the fear I feel, but I know who's on the throne, I know who is real. God got me, God got me. Every time that the pressure get high, he spot me. Devil on my mind, wanna twist my thoughts, but the blood over me, that still don't drop. See, God got me. Even when I feel lost, when the road look rocky,